Berhormat Datuk Seri Utama Dr. Faris Yassin, Minister of Information, Communications and Culture, Malaysia, to say a few words.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Selamat petang, salam sejahtera dan salam satu Malaysia. Yang berbahagia saudari pengacara majlis, Yang amat berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Timbalan Perdana Menteri Malaysia, merangkap mengurusi jawatan kuasa kabinet mengenai jalur lebar. Yang amat berbahagia Tun Dr. Lim Keng Yeh, yang berbahagia Tan Sri Khalid Ramli, yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Yeo Tiong Lei, pengurusi eksekutif YTL Corporation, yang berbahagia Tan Sri Francis Yeo, yang berbahagia Datuk Sri Dr. Chua Soy Lek, yang berbahagia Datuk Seri Ahmad Fuad Ismail, Datuk Bandar Kuala Lumpur, jemputan-jemputan khas, pengurusi perbadanan, hadirin hadirat, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Saya rasa terharu bagi pihak Kementerian Penerangan Komunikasi dan Kebudayaan pada petang ini oleh kerana begini ramai yang datang mengunjungi satu-satunya majlis yang berkata ya. Tetapi lebih dari itu, penghargaan dan rasa terhutang budi saya ialah kepada ketua saya yang amat berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, selaku pengurusi jawatan kuasa kabinet mengenai jalur lebar, yang menyerikan majlis dan akan merasmikan yes atau ya pada petang ini. Hadirin, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, bagi pihak kementerian, izinkan saya menyampaikan setinggi-tinggi tahniah kepada Tan Sri Francis serta rakan-rakan di syarikatnya yang telah berusaha dan bekerja sama dengan rapat dengan Suruhanjaya Komunikasi dan Multimedia serta pegawai-pegawai kementerian sehingga majlis pada petang ini menjadi kenyataan. Tentulah bagi rakan-rakan kita yang berada di London, ucapan saya ini sebahagian daripadanya difahami, tetapi sebahagian daripadanya mungkin tidak. Oleh itu saya mulalah cuba beralih bahasa daripada bahasa kebangsaan, bahasa Melayu, kepada bahasa Inggeris yang mungkin difahami lebih ramai nun di sana di Eropah dan di London. Ladies and gentlemen, the wireless industry in Malaysia has significantly enhanced the Malaysian economy and commerce. This has been made possible through the proliferation of wireless communications. As of today, the cellular penetration rate stands at 110%. And I'm also pleased to share the fact with you that we have surpassed our broadband penetration target of 50% for 2010. Malaysia now has a broadband household penetration of 54.5%. On this note, I would like to thank MCMC or SKMM, Suruhanjaya Komunikasi Multimedia Malaysia, and the industry for their hard work and continuous efforts in making this happen. Nevertheless, we should not rest on our laurels. Instead, we should strive even harder to push for greater heights so that we can go ahead and pursue the digital lifestyles of our lives. The details and the rigmarole of the operation, which have been announced by Tan Sri Francis, I think it's more than sufficient for us to understand that the 4G will continue to be thrusted for the future and enthrall us with the new surges and with the new implementation all around. Many of the economic sectors in the country are either directly or indirectly involved with the use of spectrum resources, thereby benefiting from the development and enhancement of wireless communications. Interestingly too, that over the years, the technology advances, many have related to industries and businesses. They have been generated in an almost domino-like effect, originating from the wireless industry itself, creating what is now an emerging multi-billion-dollar industry in Malaysia. It is roughly estimated that in Malaysia, the economic value of the wireless industry to the national economy is about 90 billion ringgit, or USD 26.5 billion, representing some 17% of total GDP in 2008. This figure is not inclusive of the value of the government's use of spectrum resource in Malaysia, such as for the defense and security purposes. Comparatively, therefore, estimates place the total economic value of USD at 771 billion. Other European countries have also estimated the value of spectrum use for the year for their economies, which total 24 billion pounds in the United Kingdom, 2 billion euro in Ireland, and 16 billion krona in Denmark. Wireless communications have become an essential component in generating productivity gains for Malaysian businesses. Businesses are taking advantage of the use of wireless communications, both mobile voice and data, that is enabled by spectrum allocation. Through mobile voice productivity in business, the gain has been significant. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the allocation of spectrum, a subject which is being asked all the time, has its own value and significance. This is a resource for the nation. It should be expended, distributed, and judged as well as garnered well. In remote areas of Malaysia, where some villages remain isolated from the electrical power grid and decent roads, wireless technologies have provided connectivity and changing as well as uplifting the socio-economic values and status of our rural folks. New towers, as many as 873 at a value of $500 million ringgit, are to be built as part of the government's ongoing effort to provide cellular coverage in the rural areas, which is expected to reach 97% by the year 2012. Needless to say, MCMC has to be ever vigilant in allocating high-end spectrum so that a wider circle of reliable operators could plug and play for our One Malaysia society. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in ramping up efforts to provide service coverage in rural areas, Wi-Fi spectrum is being used to provide what is called the Kampung Wi-Fi program to enable the people to accelerate their rights and their usage of broadband take-up. Here, people too can join or participate in the nation-building process as well as be connected to friends and relatives all the time and all the way. As digital technologies become more prevalent, the manner in which users create and share content, enjoy a variety of programs and entertainment, applications, communicate and enhance productivity at home and on the go. People are compelled to put music, photos, movies and other aspects of their life into a digital format. What all this boils down to is, while we enjoy all these, as Malaysians, we should not forget our roots. We should remember that Malaysia is offering a multifarious facet of culture, arts, and the practices that will enliven our life. Therefore, within the exuberance of the day, perhaps we should right away implant within the spectrum of our minds that the Malaysian culture ought to be part and parcel of the content of the future. Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, demikianlah pandangan saya sedikit berkaitan dengan program yang dilangsungkan oleh YTL Communications pada petang ini. Ketua saya yang amat berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin telah banyak membimbing kami di jawatan kuasa kabinet. Oleh itu, petua-petua beliau yang bakal disampaikan sebentar lagi tentu akan membimbing kita ke arah pencapaian yang lebih tinggi. Tetapi pada petang ini memadailah bagi kami dari kementerian, khususnya